Tomtoc designed this bag specifically to meet the personal item requirements of Ryanair. Now, if you've flown any budget airlines, you know if you get caught slipping at the gate with the bag a little too big, that's an easy $50 to $100 to simply add on a carry-on bag, or even much worse, a check bag, all before you even board the plane. So today, we're gonna find out that they get the mission right, and of course, I'm gonna show you all the ins and outs. So let's unpack all the details of the Tomtoc Navigator T69. Tomtoc is one of my favorite brands because I feel they consistently deliver a high value product at an affordable price. You know, when you look at that cost to value ratio, it's typically in the customer's favor. Now, currently, right now at the time of filming, this bag is gonna set you back $72.99. It is available in 3 different colors, a gray, a beautiful green, and the black that I have for you right here. So if you want the TLDR, or the long story short, the Navigator T69 is essentially a stripped down version of the very popular Navigator T66. Now, some of those features were intentionally removed to meet the strict personal item requirements for Ryanair and other budget airlines. That could be deal breakers for some on some of those features lost, but we'll get there in just a sec. Now, aesthetically, my first impression out of the box was, this is a box. It is a box with backpack straps. Now, once you start getting rounded corners for a more aesthetically pleasing bag, you start losing functional space in those corners. And when you're operating in such strict dimensional requirements, every inch counts. So I don't think this is gonna be the most beautiful bag in the airport because it is a box with straps, but functionally I get the decision. So I'm a little mixed on the aesthetics. Like, I totally get it and I understand the reasoning, but it is like a box with straps. Now, one thing that did carry over from the T66 is how we get into this bag. We have this horseshoe shaped wide duffel style opening into the main compartment. Now, I currently have this bag loaded up. Let's take this out real quick. We'll get to that here in just a sec so we can get a good look of the interior of this bag. So we have a giant bucket, and being that square shape is going to take advantage of those specific dimensions for Ryanair, but you have a nice gray interior, so it is easier to find your gear. But there's going to be no additional features down in the main compartment besides one internal stretchy pocket on the inside there. That's going to be a great place for cables and other things like that. So as far as the main interior, I think it's really simple. I think that's intentional to allow maximizing the packing capacity here. So I think the interior layout is fantastic for a bag with this specific use case, and it gives you the most packing space here to pack your packing cubes. Now, I recently picked up the brand new packing cubes from Tomtoc. These are the Light T02 Packing Cubes from Tomtoc. We have a 10-liter compressible cube here. We have the 3-liter cube here that also can be a sling. It has little attachment points on the back, and it also comes with an 8-liter clean and dirty cube here. So this set is going to set you back like 50 bucks, but I got it on sale on Amazon. I think out the door it was $40. Now, it does have like this silver plus material that's odor resistant. I mean, they're easily machine washable. They have see-through breathable sides here to let your clothes breathe, and of course the dirty cube is sealed to keep those dirty clothes in. So these are specifically designed for the T66. Now, because of their square shape, they easily fit down into the T69, just like they would the T66. Now, these packing cubes do feature like a quick rip and open into the main compartment. Now, in this 10-liter size here, I have 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, and a pair of shorts loaded in here for a nice weekend trip. That's probably more clothes than most people will take, but 10-liter cube, it is a compression cube, so you could actually open it up even bigger and squeeze it in even tighter. But because of the square shape, it fits beautifully into the bottom of this bag. And then of course the 3-liter here, there is one additional pocket on the inside here because it does make it into a sling, but this is where I have my socks and underwears. I have 4 pairs of socks and 4 underwears down at the bottom. Don't really care about those getting wrinkled, so they can just all get stuffed in there in the 3-liter packing cube. And of course I have my gravel toiletry kit. I've been using this for years. Since the very start of my channel, it's the same toiletry kit that I've been using. And then I have my Tomtoc Light T12. Tomtoc, you really got to get with me on the naming conventions. T12, the T02 Packing Cubes, the T69. It gets confusing, especially when they all have the same names, like the Navigator. I mean, come on, Tomtoc, I can give you a hand with your naming convention. Now, in this Tomtoc T12 Lite tech cube, because I don't have a lot of electronics in here and there's no slots in here for a sleeve or a laptop. I just got the basics in here. Got a couple of things to charge my AirPods, watch, and my cell phone there. I got my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 microphone and some accessories for that. And then I have my INU power bank. This is the P781. It's the newest one from Tomtoc. It's extremely thin. I think this is replacing their P73, which I featured in a ton of videos. Now the difference between this one and that one is this one is 25 watts of wireless charging, where the old one was only 20. You can still do 45 watts with the cord that comes attached to it, but this one is a lot faster. It's noticeably faster than the P73, and it is a bit slimmer as well. I'll drop a link to this down in the comments if you want to check this one out, but this is the brand new, very slim power bank from INU. So just basic stuff in this Tomtoc T12 Lite tech kit. And you can see that everything fits down into this backpack so good. You do have a little bit of extra room to spare, but that's okay, because you don't want to overstuff this bag, because then you start getting into that gray area where are you going to have to jam it down to the box? Is the gate agent going to let you jam it down to the box? So having a little bit of extra room to spare in this case is actually a good thing. Hands down, my favorite feature of this bag is it has the ability to expand. Now in this compressed state here, it's easily gonna fit that Ryanair and that budget airlines, but let's say you're traveling in the United States and you're on American Delta or even United, we're typically a little bit more forgiving or a little bit more lenient when it comes to personal items. So this bag's expansion will allow it to go from 23 liters like it is here, all the way up to 28 liters, and you're gaining all of this extra volume. And that's where that extra packing cube comes into play here, the 8-liter dirty clean packing cube. Because I already have the 10 and the 3-liter loaded up, so we can reconfigure this to show you what this bag looks like maxed out. So while I have it set up for a 4-day weekend, I can easily add the 8-liter, and that's going to give me an entire week's worth plus of travel. You can stuff the cube all the way to the top, and it takes up almost that expansion perfectly. So we can keep all of our original items in here like we had: the toiletry kit, the tech kit, the T12 Lite, and then of course the 3-liter cube for my socks and underwears, and everything fits down in there. And you can still easily zip this bag up with no problem. So with this bag expanded, this is where we go with from that block with backpack straps. Now we have the giant rectangle with backpack straps. Again, aesthetically, it's not the most prettiest bag to look at. It's almost like a Frankenstein flat top. I mean, but functionally, for its specific use case, it's hard to beat, but yeah, it's pretty big there. We'll put some footage up on the screen there on what the bags look like compressed and what it looks like expanded on me. Again, I'm 5'10" with a 21-inch torso, so that's just for your reference. But again, this is part of the trade-off here with the aesthetics, but I mean, functionally, it's hard to beat. So that's just to demonstrate the versatility of this bag. Again, if you're flying a more lenient airline, or perhaps you're doing a car travel, you can easily expand this bag. But for the purpose of this review, we're gonna keep it in the compressed 23-liter state to see how well the bag performs as intended as a personal item. So the main fabric used on this bag is the same that they used on their lightweight series of the T66. It's a 400D ripstop polyester. I love the ripstop that Tomtoc uses. I have it on the T33 slings, the T37 slings. It is a low maintenance material, easy to clean, doesn't collect dust, pet hair. I absolutely love the 400D ripstop polyester. Now they actually put a 1680D ballistic polyester down at the bottom here. This is the high abrasion area. This is where your bag's gonna be sitting most of the time. So you have that extremely robust material down at the bottom, and then a lightweight material up at the top. It's still going to be plenty durable. Now it does have a PFAS-free water coating on this bag. It's going to give you a base level of water resistance. You know, if you get caught in a light shower, you should be fine. Anything more than that, I would definitely seek shelter. When it comes to the rest of the materials on this bag, YKK zippers throughout the bag, and actually YKK plastic hardware. I didn't even know YKK actually made plastic hardware, and to be honest with you, it feels really solid. So I'm actually impressed with the plastic hardware that they're using here. So they are using that hardware on the 2 compression straps that you'll find on each side of the bag. There's also a water bottle pocket on each side of the bag, and it does have a little elastic band on the back here to give it a little bit of stretch. Now depending on how packed out the main compartment is going to really determine the size of the bottle. Now I have it pretty loose in the main compartment, and I would say an 18-ounce Yeti Rambler is about the biggest bottle you're gonna squeeze in here. Anything more than that, you're gonna be really fighting the bag. So I like the decision for aesthetics to go with the ripstop pocket with an elastic band, but I think that there was already some aesthetic compromises made to this bag, so they probably should have gone with an entire mesh pocket. It would have allowed bigger bottles no matter how packed out the main compartment is. So again, there was already aesthetic trade-off, so I think a full mesh pocket would have been a little bit better than this stretch material pocket of the ripstop. Now the front of the bag features one giant pocket, very similar to the T66, and it is going to take up this entire space here. Now there is no internal organization in this pocket, but this pocket is huge. It's actually large enough to fit my AirPods Max. So these don't fold down very well, and I love the fact that they fit in there with ease. I don't have to fight them in or out of this bag. It has a surprising amount of volume. Of course, it's also going to fight for volume with the backside stretch pocket, but since I didn't use it, my headphones fit in here beautifully. So love that for me. My headphones fit. When I travel airlines, I definitely like to take over the ear noise canceling. I feel they're a little bit better than the AirPods Pro, but I love that they fit there easily. Tomtoc has gotten way better with the branding. You have a little T up on the front, and I think there's one additional T along the back here. Yeah, so super minimal branding. The original T66 had the words like Tomtoc written in white, so they've cleaned that up a lot over the years. Now the only other external pocket is the top quick access pocket. It is long and flat, but it is wide, so you can fit a variety of gear on the inside there, stuff you want quicker access to. So I recently reviewed the Allett travel wallet. It has become my favorite travel wallet, hands down. I love this thing. If you're looking for a new travel wallet, I definitely recommend you check this one out. But this top quick access pocket will fit things that are in there that are flat and nice, just like this, my travel wallet from Allett. I can fit my pair of sunglasses. This is my Orbit Key carry case with my sunglasses. It fits in there pretty good because this pocket is very wide. And then you can toss in your little other odds and ends like gum, chapstick. You can even toss my keys in there, and in case I want to toss my cell phone, like if I'm going through TSA security, I need to throw my cell phone in there. This pocket is large enough to accommodate a cell phone. Now again, it's all dependent on your packing of the main compartment, but like how I did it for a 4-day trip, easily fit all my stuff down into that quick access pocket. Now if you're keeping track up until this point in this review, you've noticed that there was no internal laptop sleeve, no iPad sleeve. There's also no external laptop compartment or iPad sleeve. This could potentially be a deal breaker for some. Now this is one of the features I felt was eliminated in order to meet those specific requirements. You're cutting weight, you're cutting the size down, and you're adding more packing space. So one thing we didn't really touch on, at least I haven't touched on yet, is how lightweight this bag actually is. It is 1.4 pounds dry. So that is an extremely lightweight bag, because not only in addition are airlines cracking down on the overall size of your personal item, once you start getting into like some of the Asian airlines, they're weighing your personal items, and they typically have a 7 kg limit, which is about 15.4 pounds American, but that's a real thing. So I think that was a purposeful omission of the laptop compartment. This is definitely made for that weekender travel. So I'm a little mixed on the omission of the laptop compartment. Like, much like the aesthetics, I get the decision and the reasoning behind it. That doesn't necessarily mean I like the decision, so I'm gonna leave that one mixed, but totally get it why they took it out. But let me know down in the comments what you think of the omission of the laptop compartment. Now that we know that that's not there, let's take a look at the back panel. Now, we're still gonna get a nice breathable mesh back panel that is fully padded. We have that luggage pass-through right here. Now this is one of the features that I was looking for when I unboxed this, because this is such a good personal item. It makes a great companion to a roller luggage if you're carrying on a suitcase. So I'm glad that they didn't take away that feature here. But one other feature we did lose was the sternum strap. Now they have the webbing here for a sternum strap, but they didn't include one. And for me, that's a miss. This bag can go from 23 to 28 liters, and I do want a sternum strap here. Up top, you have the carry grab handle. It's just a piece of nylon folded over. Now, when it comes to the overall comfort of the straps, like I mentioned, you have that breathable mesh on both sides. They're a little bit smaller than what we found on the T66, and I thought that the bag overall carried pretty good. I wouldn't say great, but it's pretty good. Now, I think the carry comfort isn't as good as the T66 because of the overall size of the bag. It is a very short bag, so I think that could contribute. Because I have such a long torso, I do better with long bags, especially in that 20, 21 inch range. which that's gigantic for some, but for me and my torso, that works great. So even though the bag felt a little bit small on me, I think the overall carry comfort is pretty good. I do like the T66 a little bit better in that department, but even with a fully loaded loadout of 23 or 28 liters, the bag still carried fairly well. So I think we're good on the comfort here. So my box is actually sized for American budget airline. This is the size like Southwest uses, Frontier uses this size. So it's not quite as strict as Ryanair, but this bag being so strict, it should easily fit in here. Like again, I have this bag loaded up with my entire 4-day loadout. Even the AirPods Max is still in the front compartment, and it fits down into this box really easy. There's really just have to get the straps into the back, but it fits down in there once I get the backpack straps to the side. And I have extra room to spare. We'll show it on the overhead cam there. I still have all this room up here at the top here. So in this compressed state, Southwest, Wizz, Ryanair, all of the budget airlines, Volaris, all the ones you can think of, it should easily pass as a personal item pretty much anywhere in the world. So did Tomtoc get the mission right with this bag? Yes, they did. It meets the specific tight restrictions of Ryanair. This bag's also lightweight. So if you're flying on an airline that has a 7 kg limit, fully loaded with this 4-day loadout, this bag only weighs 5.8 kg, which is like 12.9 pounds. So it's also gonna help you in that area. The materials are nice, the build quality is solid, the square shape of the bag allows you to pack every square inch of usable space. Now, the trade-offs are real, you know, the minimal organization, no laptop compartment, and the utilitarian look of the box shape. It's real, but I think it's intentional. This bag is perfect for the person who frequently flies those budget airlines and is looking to avoid the baggage fees and doesn't need laptop access. And clearly it's not for the person who carries a lot of tech and does need that laptop access. If you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. I also want to say thank you to Tomtoc for sending out the Navigator T69 for me to test and review. Now, if you like this video, or if you found any value in today's video, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. Now, if this isn't the perfect personal item bag for you, I have 2 recommendations for you, and I'm gonna link them at the end. So definitely check those out if you want some more personal item recommendations. But thank you again for sticking around to the end of the video, and I can't wait to see you on my next one.